Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome to another video, and this time it's on the Porsche 718 Cayman GTS 4 litre, which I've recently heard announced today, so I'll get straight into the video really. So if you're not familiar with the Porsche Cayman 718, it's the new sort of base Porsche sports car which came out a few years ago, and it replaced the brilliant 981. Brilliant mainly because it's small compact size, mid-engined and amazing naturally aspirated engine. The problem with the 718, and it's potentially affected Porsche's sales as well, amongst other things, is that the new one came with a 2 litre or 2.5 litre, and the only actual way to get a naturally aspirated engine into the Cayman would be to get a Cayman GT4. Now, I've always had a a sweet spot in the range for Porsche as being the GTS. It essentially gives you a little bit more power, quite a few options which you probably would want anyway, a few styling tweaks and job's done, and it's at obviously a better price than the GT4 and arguably a little bit more usable in GTS form. Certainly my dream sports car for the road would probably be a 981 GTS. For the track, Cayman wise, obviously the GT4 is going to trump it, but out on the road, particularly in the UK where it's all bumpy and horrible, GTS is probably a bit more of the sweet spot actually. So yeah, I recently came across this today actually, and it's really exciting. So a few spy shots sort of shown here, and as I'm talking obviously I'll show some pictures of it and a little bit around the specs. If you look at kind of Porsche's price range at the moment, the current 718 GTS has a 2.5 litre engine, and it's priced in the UK at around 62,000. The Cayman GT4, which is the top of the range at the moment for the Cayman, is priced at 75,000. So my maths probably works out that this car probably cost between sort of 66 and 67,000 pounds, which is quite a lot of money, but then it's quite a lot of car, and you never know, fingers crossed it might be a little bit cheaper than that. So what are we expecting? So it looks like it's going to have a detuned versions of the GT4's engine, the 4 litre. Potentially not detuned too much. Again, the current GTS, you're looking at around sort of 365 brake horsepower, whereas the GT4 has 420, so maybe somewhere in the middle, maybe just under 400 brake horsepower, which to be honest is plenty. And if it has a 6-speed manual gearbox, which I hope it does, it'd be fantastic. And from the pictures, obviously this is kind of like a spy car, so it's got a bit more like Porsche basic wheels, but certainly you can see from the rear end with the diffuser, I love how they test it on the snow as well, it's more like the GT4, and you can almost think of it as like almost like a GT4 touring. Like you've got the GT3 touring, I know obviously slightly different price ranges and stuff, but you can kind of think of it like that. I think it's really exciting. That's kind of why I want to kind of share it just briefly on the channel if you hadn't heard of it. I'll put a link to where I sort of saw it from in the description below, and obviously I've sort of shown pictures as I've been talking. I'm really excited about this, and again, fingers crossed they actually bring it out. Actually on this page as well they have a GT4 RS spied at the Nürburgring as well, but in truth, you know, this is probably more of an exciting real world sports car that you could really go out and use. You know, I've driven the 981 GT4 so many times, and its home is really at the track. On the road, particularly our roads, it's really difficult to live with. I think this is a really exciting car with a naturally aspirated engine, even with all your emission regs which sort of affect the sound. It's a great car, it's going to have a great throttle response, and it's going to be great to try out if, and I hope they do bring it out. And certainly a big update, and potentially as part of a facelift of the 718 they'll bring this out. But yeah, to revise the engine, to take it from a GT4 into a GTS would be brilliant, and please Porsche, do bring this car out, and I'd like to think with the testing that they will. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that quick update, and hopefully you know, it's exciting news for you guys as well. You know, obviously I do Golf R content and hot hatch content and all sorts, but I also have quite a big passion for Porsche, and certainly a car like this would be right on my sort of Christmas list. I know Christmas has just gone, but what a fantastic car if they can bring it out with that engine, particularly in the, you know, the era we're in 2020. Fingers crossed they can actually make it happen, and the fact that that engine is homologated for sort of the latest rules, I think they should and they will be able to. Hopefully it can be priced competitively as well to potentially make it affordable. I'd certainly love one for sure. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and if what you think about the GTS 4 litre potentially coming out. Yeah, really interested to know your thoughts in the comment. Maybe you have a 718, maybe you have a normal 718, or you have a GT4. Really interested to know your thoughts on what you think of something like this, or even if you don't, your thoughts on this kind of car and sort of sports cars in the sort of day and age that we're in. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Nice and short video. I like to give sort of latest updates when I sort of see them. Certainly something that I'm quite passionate about as well. Thanks as always for the support and the subscriptions. Please give this video a like if you if you think Porsche should bring out the Cayman GTS 4 litre. Certainly in a manual gearbox, I hope. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.